When I first started my business, I was willing to speak to pretty much anyone who was interested in my service, but that makes sense for most new-time entrepreneurs, right? What I learned pretty quickly is that there's actually a disadvantage to always accepting anyone and everyone. Sales calls, they used to be unbearable for me. First, I had the problem of not having that cutoff point. I would assume a call would be no more than 10 minutes, but then I would find myself in shock and out of breath after being on the phone for an hour. Yikes. There would be this mountains of questions. And usually the prospects would take the lead and ask away, but anyone in sales knows that this is not the right approach. The salesperson should always take the lead. The reality, most new business owners aren't that savvy. There's a lot of different scenarios I could share with you that would probably qualify as the worst sales call ever, but the truth is, here's the one that I hated the most. Finding out that that person couldn't even afford my services, or that they were never really interested in following through and buying in the first place. They were pretty much just window shopping. Those always did come with their own particular sting. So how do you avoid all of this, or even can you avoid all of this? Today, I'm going to teach you how to qualify your leads, and I swear, once mastered, this skill will help you navigate many avenues of life, not just business. I pinky swear, and I actually even have some examples to match it. Today, we're talking about how to improve the quality of your leads while at the same time making your sales calls feel more balanced. No longer will you be the one that's constantly asked to give. Now, to qualify someone simply means understanding whether or not they are suitable for your offerings, business or otherwise. Now, what I'm about to say may seem like something out of the 80s, although this technique is much older, but trust me, you will understand its genius when you implement it for yourself. You know the saying, don't knock it until you tried it? That's right. Remember that for the next 30 seconds. The answer to generate pre-qualified leads. Leads that can actually afford your services. Leads that don't keep things a secret. Leads that are upfront about their needs. Leads that want to talk to you and they just won't disappear. Leads that at the end of the day, that want to work with you. The answer is forms, as in applications. Huh? What? Yes, my business-minded friends, it's that simple. Qualifying your leads can be life-changing. It surely has been for my business specifically. Firstly, 50% of businesses say that inbound marketing strategies such as on-site forums are their primary sources of leads, and that online forums are their highest converting lead generation tool. A form or application simply asks a series of questions that will either repel people or attract them into your business even more. They are used to collect information about your prospect, determine if they are the right person right off the bat, and will allow you to actually pre-qualify anyone before you hop on the phone with them. If they aren't the right fit, that's okay. The people who fill out the form with the answers that you are looking for, that's when you'll have a higher chances of closing the sale of your dream client. Think about this for a minute. If a prospect reaches out to my team to work with us on their digital marketing campaigns, they receive an application that asks a series of questions such as what they are looking for. If it's Facebook ads, sales funnels, email marketing campaigns, web development, you name it. They have the ability to check off their interests. We also ask them about their marketing budget to determine if they have the right budget to one, hire my agency and have enough budget to actually run their strategy effectively. I ask how soon they want to get started, which will prioritize their strategies, and a few other questions about their business growth goals and their plans. With one submission, I can tell if I'm excited about the project, and if I'm not excited about the project, it's probably not one that I want to work on. B, if they can afford my service, and C, if they are just looking for the entire project or if they're just looking for a small piece of the puzzle. Now, it may seem simple, but adding this one aspect to your business is what will help you bring in higher quality leads right off the bat. And of course, front-end marketing does have an impact on who you're attracting, but having a form will help you weed out those that are just time wasters for you. So let's get into what we are going to put on your form. Now, of course, there's going to be the standard name, email address, and telephone number, but the rest should really depend on your line of business. And these questions should be designed to help you get a sense of who your prospect is and where they are within their customer journey. You'll find a variety of options out there. However, you do want to be careful with the number of fields that you include in the form. Think back to your dream client and think how much time they have on hand. I have one client who has a 9-page application that they get their leads to fill out. 9 pages. It is way, way too long. However, they know that they need that information to get these people enrolled in their program. But if I can give you any advice, keep it anywhere between 5 to 10 questions. There is a fine line between gathering enough information and gathering too much information. Just get enough information so you can make an informed decision. Only doing name and email, that won't pre-qualify your leads at all. You only want to do that for your lead magnets. Now, it's within reason to ask more information on contact forms or service or product inquiry forms or applications. It's true that you'll come across those that aren't ready to buy, those that are, and those that are actually in the beginning stages of buying. And to be honest, we don't necessarily need to be concerned about which one is which right now. We can always improve the efficiency of our forms over time. We can even track how they perform over time. But if you are new to forms, period, I think you should allow yourself to see what it's like to approach prospects with some additional information in your pocket. One great tool that I recommend you get started with for forms is Calendly. This is especially helpful if you don't have a website just yet, but it is awesome even if you do. And if you don't have a website, you can bet your dollar we're going to address that in a future video. These are ideal for those looking to book discovery phone calls or video demos for your products or services. So here's an example of one way in which one of my clients is using this approach. It's true, there are some things she could be asking in addition to all of this that you see on this form, but her reasoning, she didn't want her form to run too long, and her logic really isn't flawed. You may feel the budget is a field worth including, but she shares this information on her freelancing profile where her budget is obviously stated, so her prospects are already aware of her rate. Now, this form alone allows her to differentiate between those who are just fishing for information, digging for specific information for free, versus those genuinely interested in hiring her. Now, of course, we blurred out some of her personal information to conceal her identity. But as a YouTube consultant, this form allows her to gather what considers pivotal information in understanding what a prospect may need from her. First, she can connect with them in more traditional methods rather than just sending specific websites and platforms. Email, of course, it is personal enough, but what's more personal than a phone number? Next, she can request the link to their actual YouTube channel. And what she found with her business specifically is that those with already existing channels are far more likely to convert rather than those that are just starting out. She's also able to find out what service this person wants. This allows her to understand if the client will need one-time services or an ongoing support. And knowing what platform someone found you on, that's never a bad idea. And if you want to see a little bit more examples of effective form, leave a comment right below and let me know. I have so many forms that I use in my business, in my clients' businesses, and even teach my students, so I have a lot to share. The point being though, qualifying your leads can be that simple. And it can be even more complex depending on what information you're gathering. Maybe you're hosting a webinar or running a survey. Forms are the answer for you. Try this approach. See how it works for you. It's simple, but you can make a drastic difference in how you actually run your business. And best of all, these are super simple to implement and don't take much time at all. Calendly, for example, it's a free platform that also connects with your booking calendar. Now, if you don't know much about booking calendars, make sure to head back to one of my episodes from a couple weeks ago about the automation that is best for your business. I run through a few different automation tools, but booking calendars is one of them. Now, other platforms that you can use, Jotform, Typeform, Microsoft Forms, and if you're building funnels for your business, you can actually put that form directly into that funnel. Now, if you're using an email autoresponder, they also usually have that option for you to embed forms. Now, out of everything that you learned today, the biggest takeaway is to make sure that you actually implement a form into your business, especially if you're someone who jumps on sales call after sales call. You'll learn to love it. But that's all I have for you today, my friend. If you have any questions, ideas, make sure to let me know in the comments or feel free to connect with me on social media. You can find me at Lisa Ann Coaching across all platforms on social media. And as always, you know how much I appreciate the likes and subscription to my channel. It's not easy showing up here every single week, but I made a promise to myself that I needed to share my knowledge with the world. I want to help you see the results in the online world just as I have. So if you did learn something new here today, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button, and I will see you next week, same time, same place. Enjoy your day.